So thrilled that she said yes to be a guest. Gabby, hey.
Hi. Hello. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I feel like this topic was my topic,
Oh,
unfortunately. I
that is
relate.
so okay. So you related to a lot
That's
of stuff we
okay.
talked about earlier?
Yeah, very much so. So I actually took the attachment style quiz that Dr. Morgan
Yes.
had on our Instagram,
Yes.
and I got 38% anxious attachment, 38% secure, which I was actually making some
There we go.
progress with
Yeah.
that one, and 25% avoidant. So if I would have took this a year ago, it would have been way different. But I have been trying to make some changes in my thoughts and in my life. So, but yeah, I totally relate to this, and I'm gonna kind of like go back a little bit in my life. So I grew up in a household that was kind of like a little bit of abuse and like a distance and like emotional, relationships and stuff with like my dad and stuff. So I had daddy issues from like the beginning, right? So this is where this all kind of starts.
Gotcha. Thank you for
Well,
sharing. Seriously.
yeah, no problem. And I talk about a lot of stuff in my life. Relationships is one of those things I don't normally talk about, but I've decided that it's totally cool. So I was like, everybody, come and watch the show. I'm going to be really vulnerable today. Yeah, when I was 16, I actually was like kind of in a situation where I was homeless because I left the abusive household, and I met a boy who was a few years older than me, and his family let me move in right when I was 16 before we even like were a relationship. So then, obviously his family let me move in, so I ended up being in a relationship, and it lasted for 6 years. And I felt like this relationship was really amazing and that we were super great and it was happy and all this stuff, whatever. But um, the weird thing about this is that I think he also had an avoidant attachment style because he was always really concerned of me being unfaithful. And I was really concerned that he didn't actually love me. So it was just like this really weird conflict of emotions between the two of us. And as the relationship kind of started to come to an end, I started to be aware of, okay, maybe this is not unhealthy, or this is not healthy, because he I was in college and he actually didn't really have a lot of goals. He wasn't determined to do much in life. And I had like so many goals. So,
Yeah.
I wasn't like so dependent where I was staying home like all the time. Like I went to college and I did my thing, and he actually discouraged me against even going to college because I was a physical therapy major and we had to wear like sports bras and shorts to like obviously like palpate bony prominences and do exams and stuff. And he was like, oh, well, all those people are probably just like hitting on you and looking at you in some type of way. So I actually really had a hard time making friends because he refused to even meet the people I was with. So it was pretty
Sure.
much just like a study session, and then I would just go home and be with him, and it ended up just being really bad. It took a lot of strength. It took me like a year to get out of that relationship, and like I said, I was in this childhood where I didn't really have anybody there for me. And then suddenly I had someone there for me for 6 years. And then suddenly I left, and I don't have like a whole lot of like a family other than my cousin Ash Marie who's in here and Lexi
Yeah.
Ann. But yeah, so, out of that relationship, I was like, I'm lost. I don't know who I am. Like I was with him since I was 16. So as like an adult woman, I was like, I don't even know who I am. I don't even know how to make friends, especially like male friends, which I saw
Oh.
Dr. Morgan actually posted something about
Yeah.
being
That's
friends with
awesome.
the opposite sex, and if it was okay and like if it works out. And through that whole relationship, I was pretty much told that it was not possible to be friends with a man if I'm a woman. So like even now, like I've been in the relationship for 3 years, like even like becoming a friend with a man is like has been a challenge for me, and it's become easier, especially with like meet me and stuff. And
Sure.
meet me has been a really great outlet for me, by the way, to like get to know who I am and things like that. But yeah, so after that relationship, I actually met a guy on Tinder. I moved in with
Okay.
Ash for a little bit of time because I didn't have a place to live. I met a guy on Tinder, and I moved to a whole nother like city, like a couple hours away, for this guy that I had just met on Tinder. Okay. That is bad. And I am so aware of that now. And I'm like, what the heck was I thinking? But I did it. And I moved with the, not with him, but I moved to the city for this guy. And, eventually this was kind of fresh out of that relationship. I realized like a few months in, okay, I really screwed up here. I
Sure.
don't actually love this guy, but I thought I loved him. And so I was like, okay, I got to get out of this relationship. So I ended it and actually ended up breaking his heart. I actually realized that I wasn't so attached to him. And
Sure. How
after
long were you
that,
guys dating?
I dated him for about 10 months. And
Okay.
that was like my only second relationship as an adult, you know? So, but it never, I feel so bad that I probably really ruined that guy's mind
How old were
for
you,
a
by
little
the
while.
way?
I was 23. I was
Okay.
23.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then, after that, I'm not gonna even lie. I have a past that I am not very proud of, but I ended up meeting people off of Tinder and I thought I fell in love with these people. Like I fell in love so fast and then
Sure.
they'd break my heart or there was actually one guy who really, really messed with my head and I just kind of, you guys were talking about how, oh, like you try to be just like these people because if you're interested in what they're interested in, then they'll be interested in you. Like I don't really care about sports, but I literally watch football every Sunday with this guy just to make him think that I was interested and that I would, that he would like me more. And like, what a stupid thing. Like, I actually am, I made so much progress since this, and Tinder is a bad, yeah, just delete Tinder. We don't like that app. Actually, I'm sure you could find some good out of it. But yeah, so after that guy like kind of like broke my heart, I have actually been single and trying
Sure.
to just like work on myself and that's why I was kind of surprised to see that secure attachment and anxious attachment were kind of like the same on 38% for me.
Sure.
So I think that means that I'm making some progress, but I really, really relate to this so badly, so
Yeah,
badly. And you know what?
absolutely. No,
And
I hear what you're saying. For those coming in, Gabby has shared so much. Thank you again for sharing. We'll keep diving into it. We are now talking. Gabby is sharing some of her previous dating experiences, some of her dating habits, and again, I think the point of this show is to make people kind of aware of some of the habits like while they're happening because I'm sure when you were in it you didn't know why it was happening. It was just the same story was kind of taking place over and over, but you weren't kind of aware like why it was happening.
right.
So I'm curious because you've talked a lot about the past, which I'm so thankful for you for doing. I'm so curious. What do you feel like has been your biggest tipping point, and your quiz shows it? Like, what has been that tipping point? Do you think that has actually allowed you now to like embrace a bit more of a secure attachment?
I mean, to be honest with you, I have a show on here. It's about mental health,
Yeah.
and I
Oh,
decided to make the
love that
show
show.
because I've had some traumas, which you guys pretty obvious that I've had some traumas. So
Sure.
I decided to take advantage of going to a psych facility at a time where I felt like, okay, like it's getting pretty rough. I need to go make some changes. And after I went and experienced that, I was there for like 7 days. Um, I learned so much about myself and I know it sucks that that's the experience I had that took me to this place of like finding out like who I am. But it was right around the time I discovered Meet Me 2 years ago. And I decided I was like, I'm just gonna I used to think I was very alone and I didn't have a lot of people in my life. But then after that experience, I was like, oh, I have like some actually really amazing people who are always here for me, even though I didn't think they were. So kind of realizing that I have a support system that's always been there, but and not obviously not a romantic one, but my family, um, being able to embrace them in my life has really been helpful. And meet me. I know it's not. I'm really biased because I'm on this app and I'm a live streamer, but Meet Me has been such an amazing way for me to learn who I am and to not be afraid to talk because I would never. Oh my gosh, if you would have met me a year ago, I would not be in this date box right now. I was super
Oh,
shy. I was super shy. So Meet Me's been a really, really good way for me to kind of break out of my shell a little bit. Now I'm a lot more confident. So yeah.
that's okay. So now you think you've done the work. You took some professional. You sought some professional advice. No problem in that. Yeah, you did that. That kind of helped a little bit reset yourself, and then yeah, I feel like now you've been working, just really working on yourself. So yeah, I feel like you're ready for an amazing relationship. Like, do you have questions for Dr. Morgan or anything like she could help you out with personally?
Okay, this might not be related to this, but I don't know. So near the end of that 6 year relationship, I started to think about other people as like romantic partners while I was in that relationship, and I felt really guilty feeling that. But is that something normal to feel, or is that like a red flag? I mean, I'm just curious because I hate to admit that that's happened, but it's happened, and it's probably because I'm just human, and maybe all humans experience thoughts like that. But yeah, having those thoughts while in a relationship is like really, really scary.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, we'll see Dr. Morgan's thoughts.
Yeah, I know it's
Uh,
not super related to this, but
that's so okay. Gabby, appreciate you coming. Please, I insist that you talk about your absolutely incredible show. Please let the people know about
thank you. Well, if you guys don't know me, I'm Gabby. I have a show on the app with Sammy J, who's in the comments, called In It Together. And it's a, for lack of better words, it's a show about mental health. So we dig into new topics every week that we provide you with education, advice, and tips. We also post it on our Instagram, which is in my bio. And we have different streamers on talking about their experiences with their topics. And also, if anyone here happens to be an artist, I'm trying to do art, I'm trying to feature art on my wall here next week. We're going to talk about how art is beneficial to our mental health. So, yeah, hit me up on Instagram if anybody here is an artist and you're trying to get some clout.
it. So good. Gabby, appreciate you so much. I love your show. Supposedly, I may be a guest at some point on the show, so stay tuned for that.
Yes.
So thankful. Any last words before we get you out of here?
I'm just glad that you guys are doing the show because it's nice to know I'm not the only one here that feels like they're a mess in relationships sometimes. So, like, shout out to you guys. This is a great show.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much, Gabby. Please make sure you favorite her. One of my favorite people on this app. Peace, Gabby.
Peace.
Thank you.